Let me guess, you're looking to buy an Arsenal player this upcoming game week. If the answer is yes, you're going to want to stick around as I'll take you through the best Arsenal players to buy and why you need to be transferring them in ASAP. If this sounds good to you, do me a favor, drop a like, subscribe and hype the video. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get into it. So what's with this Arsenal hype? Why all of a sudden should we be looking at Arsenal players? Well, let's get into it. First and foremost, the fixtures. Have a quick scan of the upcoming fixtures. They're looking real good. And we'll talk a bit more detail about them later on as well. West Ham at home, Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home, Burnley away and Sunderland away. That's an example for you of what's upcoming for Arsenal. Now, when you add to this, Arsenal are the current Premier League favourites. Yes, this is early days and it does fluctuate. Arsenal now from 33% to 44% favourites. Liverpool have gone from 47 to 36%. This is just another reason why we should be bringing Arsenal players in. I mean, more than likely, if you're playing for a team challenging all favourites for Premier League, they're more than likely going to score the most goals, more than likely keep the clean sheets, all that good stuff which we want from our FPL assets. Now, speaking of clean sheets, let's talk Arsenal and defence. They've been formidable under Arteta. Every year they go from strength to strength, and this season they look even better. Combination of tactical, but not just tactical, the personnel, the players they've brought in, their squad is actually stacked in defence, and the defensive numbers just back this up. Goals conceded, they've only conceded 3 goals from 6 games. And bear in mind, one of those goals was that Szoboszlai worldly, which you can't do nothing about. Now, the expected goals conceded is currently 3.9, which just confirms that they've not been jammy or very lucky. No, they've deserved those clean sheets and only conceding 3 goals. So the data backs up the amount of goals they've conceded. And I'm going to give you some clean sheet odds for the upcoming game weeks. Take a look at this. Game week 7 is 50%, then it's 41%, 45, 52 and 50. Normally in the Premier League, if you've got 30% upwards, that's incredible odds there for a clean sheet. So this should give you confidence if you're buying defensive players from Arsenal. Those clean sheet odds look incredible. Arsenal are just not a defensive unit. No, they can attack. They can't be challenging for the Premier League if you're just defensive. You need to score goals, and Arsenal can do that. Take a look at some of their attacking stats. Arsenal have already scored 12 goals from 6 games, which is the second best in the Premier League. They're currently running at 6.8 for minutes per chance created. That's the 3rd best in the Premier League. And lastly, let's talk Arsenal's goal projection odds. Game week 7 is at 1.6, and then it's 2.3, 2.1, 2.3, 1.5. Again, these odds should just give you comfort if you're looking to bring in an attacking player. Now, hopefully you can see why I'm excited, and you should be excited about bringing some of these Arsenal players into your team. Whether it's a defensive player or an attacking player, there's definitely a player that can improve your current team right now. The first player we're going to talk about is David Raya. Now, eyebrows were raised when Arteta was ruthless and got rid of Ramsdale not long after bringing him in when Raya was available. And to be fair to Arteta, he got this right because Raya's been a big upgrade and only gone on to improve this incredible defense. Now, when we look at some of his numbers, you can already see why he's going to be popular in the next coming game weeks. He's already got 28 FPL points and is the 4th highest ranked goalkeeper. But must remember, played Newcastle, played Liverpool, difficult fixtures. You've seen the upcoming run for the next couple of game weeks, yeah? You can expect those points to shoot up. Points per match is 4.7 and the bonus point so far is 3. His ownership is 25%, but I can imagine this is going to go up big time. Now, normally with goalkeepers, we hate to use transfers, but the reason I want to start with David Raya, a lot of people will be considering wildcards, and if you are wildcarding, you 100% fix this position. But even if you're not wildcarding, with the upcoming fixture run and all the things I've just spoken about, especially if you have goalkeeper issues like this, whether it's Sanchez, Sales or Martinez, these are goalkeepers who have underperformed. We've backed these teams thinking they're going to keep more clean sheets and they haven't, or they've got red cards, just disappointed. For me personally, I own Sales. He's been hideous, not one clean sheet. This is after last season coming tied with David Raya with the Golden Glove. Now, this is one of the reasons here why I'm looking at Raya. I can change Sales to Raya, fix my team and don't have to think about that position unless he gets injured, or when it's wildcard time, then I can change it up again. It's not the most exciting move, I know this, but if you're in a position where you can make a transfer to improve your goalkeeper, look no further than David Raya. Let's talk defenders, and I'm going to start with Gabriel. Now, this guy is going to be hot property, mainly because you saw his winner against Newcastle in game week 6. I'm actually gutted seeing that goal going. I was hoping he would save the goal scoring until he was in my team. Unfortunately, nope, he's gone early. His price is going to go up and it's really frustrating. But from my perspective, Gabriel was the pick of the bunch of the defenders. And they do have other defenders we'll discuss in a minute. But for me, he's the pick of the bunch. The stability is there. Look at his minutes, 540. He's already got 38 FPL points, 4th best ranked defender. Currently averaging 6.3 points per game, which is pretty good if you ask me, and sitting around 24% ownership. You know that's going to go up after this weekend's goal. Now, why Gabriel? Why Gabriel over the other defenders? Well, one of the main reasons is his attacking threat from set pieces. Like I said, you saw the goal against Newcastle. He's an absolute beast when attacking corners, very difficult to mark, and the stats prove it. Since he's come into the Premier League, you can see right down at the bottom, no defender has scored more goals than him in the Premier League. He is formidable. There's loads of other defenders that have got double-digit returns, but no one can match him since he's come into the Prem. Honestly, he's got that gift there and he's very good at tracking and attacking the ball. He's got the right amount of aggression. And with this upcoming fixture, like I discussed earlier on, and clean sheets and potentially a couple of attacking returns, it makes Gabriel such a good pick. Honestly, for me, it's going to be hard to avoid him, and I can see myself maybe doubling up on the Arsenal defense. Now, I just wanted to highlight some of the other Arsenal defenders. If you do fancy being different, and you can actually go to alternatives who have done really well this season. Saliba, for example, once he's fully fit, he's an easy pick. Super reliable, not as attacking as Gabriel, but maybe you make up for that when he's fully fit. He's the leader in that back four and tends to play the most minutes. Calafiori is a wild one. Crazy on the pitch almost, but very attacking, can pop up in places you would not expect and get a goal. We've seen it last season and he's already shown signs this season. For me personally, I was worried regarding his minutes. I thought Lewis Skelly would get more minutes, but he looks at the moment, he's Arteta's #1. So he's an interesting pick, a bit of a spicy one if you fancy being a little bit different. And lastly, Timber, who I rate highly. I've been watching him carefully and he looks a top bracket player. It's unfortunate Arsenal were cheated a year of his service because of that horrible injury. But every time I watch him, he impresses me. Now, as long as he keeps that right back position, he's an incredible pick. Very viable. You can actually go with him instead of Gabriel if you like. I was concerned regarding Ben White's minutes, but I don't think he's ready yet. I don't think he's even a threat when he is fully fit to Timber. That's how good Timber is. So these three, totally viable if you fancy going a bit different. For me personally, I just always liked Gabriel as an Arsenal defensive pick. Now, speaking about spicy picks earlier on in regards to defenders, this is the real spicy pick when it comes to Arsenal at the moment. And that is Saka, the star boy. And the reason he will be a spicy, almost a differential pick, and that is because he's just come back from injury. Hence why his stats on the screen are not going to look great. So I'm not even going to run through them. Saka's more about the potential of what you could possibly get from him with these upcoming fixtures. And you saw how good they look with the goal scoring projected odds. Now with Saka, there's no disputing his quality. We don't even need to worry. He's already shown us over the years how good he is and how he can impact a game. You've already seen since he's come back from this injury, the impact he has on a game. We think he's lost penalties, which does hurt him a little. But it's not 100% confirmed. We think Gyökeres might have the penalties, but we don't know yet until we see Arsenal take a penalty. Even without the pence, Saka still might be a viable option. Now, there's going to be managers out there that have Palmer, who got injured and is unreliable at the moment, have Wirtz, who's not really adapting to the Premier League and not performing for his price point. You could easily move from them to Saka and get a head start and have a differential. How often is it in FPL you can get a differential of this quality? This is a player that you can actually captain in specific game weeks. That's how good he is. So you would be getting a head start. The risk is the minutes, as he's just come back from injury, and we think Arsenal are starting to look at protecting him going further forward, as he's played a lot of games for his young age. This is the reason they signed Noni Madueke. At first, a lot of us were thinking, what are they bringing him in for? They've got Saka. But then it makes sense. The more you think about it, it could take the pressure off Saka. Put that all to the side. For now, he is the main man. Noni's actually out injured, and I'd like to think Saka's going to be playing 70 minutes minimum for the upcoming fixtures. For me, I really like Saka. Whether I can get there in my current team, I think I'll probably have to wait until a wildcard to bring him in. Now, if you don't want Saka, Arsenal do have many other midfielders who are incredible. But the two midfielders I really like are Declan Rice and Eze. Two top bracket players here. Let's start with Eze first. What a signing Arsenal have got through the door. It almost went under the radar very quietly. Tottenham were just about to get him and Arsenal was like, nope, we're not going to allow that. And they've brought him in. As far as I'm concerned, if Eza starts getting the minutes, I think he's going to be a game changer for this team. One of the things Arsenal struggle with at the moment is in open play creating chances. A lot of that was put on Odegaard's shoulders, who recently has struggled to hit that top form. Now they've got another top bracket player in Eza. He's capable of breaking defenses in the final third or from halfway line. Like you've seen that pass for Martinelli against Manchester City. You give this guy time, he'll drop the ball in front of you. If there's a bus parked in front of him, he can unpick it. He's got everything you need. So if he starts getting the minutes at his price point, he would be a game-breaking FPL asset. The problem is, I'm not confident on his minutes yet. Beside him, Declan Rice. When they first bought him for 100 million, I did raise an eyebrow. I don't think I've mentioned that price point since. He's been unreal. Whether it's a 6 or an 8, he can do it all. And one thing that really improves him as an FPL asset is his set piece taking. He's clicking up the assists and at times will click up def con. But you have to bear in mind, he's not too expensive. I think he comes in at 6.5 million, playing for a top bracket team with these incredible fixtures. It's possible you could take a punt on him and get those points ticking over weekly. Having said that, my favourite midfield pick from Arsenal is Saka. Last up, I want to talk Victor Gyökeres, Arsenal's new number 9. Now, depending on who you speak to, some either really like him and think he's got potential, some think he's already a flop. I mean, feel free to share your opinion in the comments. Now, from my perspective, I like what I've seen so far. It's been a slow start, I'm going to be honest with you. The first couple of games, he looked a little bit clunky, way off the pace, but then it makes sense. He didn't really have a pre-season, and then he's got to get used to the Premier League, which we know how difficult that is. And lastly, he's got to get used to Arsenal's style of play. Arsenal are super intense, a unique playing style. Arteta, don't forget, a student of Pep, is going to have some tactical styles that Gyökeres would not be ready for. So when you put all of that together, you can understand why it's taken him a little while to adapt. I will say this, recently, he's looked better. Against Newcastle, he looked really good, in fact, and probably should have got that penalty. His numbers, not incredible at the moment, but bear in mind the fixtures have been tricky and also that stuff I just said about him bedding into the Premier League. XG of 2.3, minutes per XG is around 204, which isn't ideal, but his minutes per attempt is improving. It's at 37, and I think with these upcoming fixtures, you can see that dropping down to like 27, which is pretty good if it means he's having a shot every 27 minutes there. If they're good quality shots, which you like to think Arsenal will be producing in the upcoming fixtures. Currently on 24 points, which is not too bad. You'd expect a bit higher for someone leading the line for the Premier League favourites. I really like Gyökeres. He's already in my team. I went early, even during the difficult fixtures. He got me 1 goal in those difficult fixtures, but since then he's blanked, which is frustrating. The good thing is though, I don't need to make a transfer for these upcoming fixtures. He's already in my team. And when you look at the upcoming fixtures for Gyökeres, this is ordered via best attack, and you can see Arsenal are top as well. I know they were the top of the best defensive fixtures. They're also the best for the attacking fixtures. This is what makes Arsenal so appealing at the moment. You can buy a defender or an attacker and more than likely still going to get a good return from those assets. Now, when you look at these fixtures here, these look like they're going to be Gyökeres fixtures. And what I mean by that is Arsenal will be dominating these games, more than likely parked in the opponent's half. And I think that's where Gyökeres is going to come into his own here. Basically a box player, when the ball comes into him, all it's going to be needed is to feed him and he'll get the shot off. I think he struggled when teams have actually played further up, say like a Newcastle or a Man City, and he's got a running behind. I don't see him as a pacey number 9 that's going to run away past Premier League defenders, but I do see him getting in between the lines and getting shots off. So for me, even at 9 million, Gyökeres is an excellent pick. And if it is confirmed he's taking penalties as well, like we nearly got to see it against Newcastle, but it was overturned. But if he is taking them, he's a gorgeous pick for the upcoming game weeks now. You can just leave him in your team and watch those points stack up. Do you agree that he's a good pick, or you think, nah, no chance, you would never bring him into your team? Get in the comments and let me know. This is a quick look at my team and how I'm thinking about maneuvering and getting these Arsenal players in. As you can see up front, I've already got Gyökeres in, so that's not too bad. I'm happy about that. I feel like I'm one step ahead from other managers who want to bring him in. But the 2 areas where I think I can make an improvement by bringing Arsenal players in is Raya in goal over Sales. Sales has been a disaster. He stunk out the place, honestly. Raya coming in is going to improve my team big time. And also, maybe Cucurella to Gabriel. I mean, that's a big improvement as well. Especially as recently Chelsea have dropped the ball. They've not been that great defensively. I mean, Cucurella's given me 3 blanks in a row. Or I've got 1.6 million. I could upgrade one of the other defenders. into Gabriel and keep Cucurella as well for their upcoming fixtures. It depends which route I take, but this is something I've already started to work out in my team. I'll be going down this route. I've already made up my mind that I'm going to be going double Arsenal defense and 1 attacker. If I was confident on Eza, I probably would go with it because he's actually at a very nice price. Saka, I'm still not sure yet. I'm not going to say to you I won't go with it because Saka's the kind of player, if you see him getting hot, you need him in your team. But for now, this is where I'm at. Gyökeres in my team, and more than likely 2 defensive players coming in, Raya and Gabriel, to hopefully improve this team big time. But before you bring any Arsenal players into your team, or any other players as a matter of fact, remember, we have European fixtures. These players you're thinking about bringing in, if you go early to get the price rises, they could get injured. Someone like Gabriel, who I just said, who I really, really want. What if he gets injured playing Olympiacos? Don't risk it. If you can, wait. I put this in the video just as a reminder. I'm hoping to save at least one manager from making this mistake and costing themselves a -4. And lastly, we're going to finish up on my game week 6 score, which wasn't that great. And luckily for me, I did actually captain Haaland. Congratulations for the ones who triple captained him. I was this close, as you know, if you was watching my stream, but I changed my mind. Kind of regret it. 16 points. It's very unlikely I can match that. Look at the sea of reds. Everyone blanked. And the 2 players who actually returned, Juve and Rodgers, I benched them. Yes, you heard that correct. I benched them. So in fact, my only 2 players who returned in my starting 11 were Semenyo, who's been a superstar this season, and the Terminator himself, Haaland. Yes, he went crazy in the last couple of minutes to rack up an incredible score. The rest of the team was a disgrace. Let's hope game week 7 is better. If you're still watching, I want to say a big thank you. Appreciate the support. Please like and subscribe the video. Also hype it. It's a new feature that will be very beneficial to me. So please press that hype button. Also get the notifications on so you can get on my live streams where I give away prizes. We have a weekly predictions game which I give away prizes for a monthly winner. It's free to play. All you need to do is tune into my deadline stream and you can get involved. Let me tell you right now, it's the most competitive thing out there. Honestly, it's so much fun. So definitely check it out. You're going to want to be involved. On that note, I'm going to see you on my next video. Bye bye.